2 days in Manchester with 2 of my Fujifilm cameras. 1 day with the Fujifilm XPro 1 and the 35, and the other with the Fujifilm XS10 and the 18 f2. Let's go. Hey, good morning everybody. We are just about to head to Manchester for a little bit of photography and a little day out. Sun is shining, top is down, let's go. Hey, what's going on everybody? We are in Manchester today and I have with me my XPro 1 and the 35mm 1.4. Sorry mate. The sun is shining and we are doing a little exploring around the city. So let's see what we can find. So I really love the form factor of the XPro 1 and how it makes me feel when I'm out doing photography with it. There's something that just feels right about it when I'm out framing in the world. Maybe it's the rangefinder-esque of the camera and how maybe the top dials make me slow down a little bit and it's a little bit more tactile. I found over the 2 days that I am a lot slower with the Fujifilm XPro 1, which on one hand is quite nice. Now I had the Fujifilm XF 35mm 1.4 attached for the first day with my XPro 1. So I was shooting at a full frame equivalent of 50mm. The pair made my frames and the rendering of each frame really nice. And it's got me thinking, do I want to buy the XPro 2? I'm not really too fussed about the XPro 3, but the Fujifilm XPro 2 looks really nice. And again, another photocentric camera, or am I just adding to my gear and do I not really need it? But like I said at the start of the year, and I will try not to buy any more gear this year and just make do with what I got to improve my photography skills. But it's proving a lot harder than I thought. Anyway, here are some more frames with my XPro 1 and the 35-1.4. Hey, good morning everybody. I'm in Manchester today doing a full day of street photography. I've got with me the Fujifilm XS10 and the 18 f2. I've also got with me in the car the Viltrox 85, so I'm going 18 to 85. So either end of the spectrum, I drove here today as the train is the same price, so I can use my car as a little bit of a base, which is pretty cool. And yeah, it's going to be sunny today. The UK is finally warming up, which is lovely. I did lose my viewfinder the other day, the one that attaches. I haven't brought another one, so I am just, yeah, we'll see. It's a bit annoying, but yeah, let's go see what we can find. On the second day, I got to Manchester early and I actually ended up walking 20 miles. 10 miles of that was in loafers. What an idiot. They felt really comfortable at the time, but after like 10 miles, my feet were absolutely gone. And luckily, I keep a spare pair of trainers in the car, which were an absolute godsend. I took the Fujifilm XS10 along with the 18mm f2, and I did have the Viltrox 85 in the bag. So I was looking to shoot at either end of the focal length spectrum. In comparison, the XS10 now feels like a pointing shoot. I can use it with one hand, I know where all the dials are, I use it in aperture priority, and it just feels like I wouldn't even need the viewfinder really, and I could just possibly just walk around shooting like that. And maybe that's me getting comfortable, and maybe that's the 18mm f2 or the 28 full frame equivalent, where I sometimes just use manual focus, or because it was a sunny day, I set it in between the 4 and 5 aperture and was just constantly shooting. Feels like I'm capturing more of the scene, so I have a little bit of leeway in what I'm shooting. It feels and it felt a lot different to shooting with than the XPro 1. And like I said, I've had this since the beginning of my street photography journey, and it's becoming just part of me. There are no top dials where I have to control. I usually just set it to my black and white recipe, and then I go out and shoot. And if I like the photos that I have at the end of the day with the black and white recipe, then sometimes I keep them as the JPEGs, or I just put them into Lightroom anyway, and I edit the RAWs. So on that hand, it's becoming a complete extension of myself, and I know my way around it back to front. Now, this sounds really bad, but it's becoming a little bit lifeless to me. As I'm becoming so comfortable with it, I just feel like not the fun is being taken out of it, but there is something about using the XPro 1 that just makes it a little bit more fun. I have considered possibly trading in the XS10 for the XPro 2 and just keep with the XPro line. Kind of waiting to see what Fujifilm have to offer. I know there's another new camera coming out soon, but apparently it's only half frame, so maybe that's not where I want to go. And I'm still using the Fujifilm X-S10 for some of my paid shoots. However, it is now sitting in between the XPro 1 and my Lumix S5. Now, I brought the S5 for more professional work and the XPro 1 for a little bit more fun. Now I have the XS10, which, like I said, is sitting somewhere in the middle, and I'm unsure what to do with it. Maybe I will just wait until the end of the year to see what happens. All in all, both days of street photography for me were quite successful. I learned quite a lot from shooting with both different systems, and it's taught me a little bit more about my street photography and what I want out of it. They both have their own advantages, their own quirks, their own disadvantages, and I couldn't tell you which day was better for shooting. As far as focal lengths, the 18, 35 and the 85, or the 28, 50 and 127 in full frame, still no closer to being I'm a this focal length shooter. I still enjoy them all, and I started with the 23 f2 from Fujifilm, and I'm starting to think that maybe I should put in a 20mm just to see if that sways me a little bit, just to mix it up a little bit more. But like I said, I'm trying not to buy any gear, so sorry for all of you out there who are watching this for gear. I will probably not buy anything this year, as I'm solely trying to focus on the creation side of things. However, I have come to realize that lugging around possibly one and two cameras when filming, so a Fujifilm and the Lumix, is becoming a little bit tiresome. And because I've experienced what the Lumix has to offer in video, the Fujifilm doesn't seem to compare. I'm finding myself taking both, and is a little bit cumbersome. So I need to find a solution for that really ASAP. And that's just a topic possibly for another video. I have come to realize that one of these cameras will probably be being sold at the end of the year, as I don't want to keep all of this gear on me. And maybe I'll just have a complete reset and see what happens. I know I'm only halfway through the year, but these are my thoughts already. Nothing too serious for the YouTube world. Anyway, that's my ramblings done. I hope you enjoyed the photography and a little bit of me showing you Manchester. So stay creative, get framing, and keep on adventuring on the weathered streets.